Today I am at the Glades shopping centre in Bromley and it's time for a lift tour. Now this shopping centre was built in the 1990s and originally featured some nice Schindler M-Series lifts. Now what's happened to these nice Schindler M-Series lifts since the 1990s? Well, we'll get on to that later. To start off, we're going to go into H&M, which is a newer store that's not original to the shopping centre, which has a nice Schindler 3300 MRL. This is the lift at the Glades. Sorry, the lift at H&M in the Glades, I mean. It's a Schindler 3300. And while I'm not a fan of FIGL, it makes a nice change from the dozens of generic lifts I've been in today. Here we are at 2. It's quite a big gap between floors.
Second floor.
Maintained by Pickerings. Buttons don't beep. Why is that saying 1? I have no idea. It's got a capacity of 1,000 kgs, 13 persons. Someone's getting in. We managed to stop here.
First floor.
No one there. That's odd. I wonder why it stopped on 1. Maybe somebody pressed the call button and then decided to walk. Who knows? And here we are back at 0.
Ground floor.
Next we're going to go into the lift next to Waterstones. This lift serves the lower mall level, upper mall level and car parks 1 and 2, but also stops at a mezzanine level for Waterstones, where apparently it was too complicated for the lift's designers to have both doors open at the same time. So there are actually 2 different buttons for the mezzanine depending on whether you want the doors to open on Waterstone side or on shopping centre side. Why they've done that, I don't know. Anyway, this lift is also not original to the shopping centre but was added on slightly later and is an Otis 2000 lift. Unfortunately, in 2018, some pillock decided to let Jackson Lift Group get their hands on it, who have replaced the logic, replaced the buttons and overall ruined this lift, so it now just looks like a boring generic. Otis 2000, modernised. Waterstones, the Glades. Stopped on 1. Otis.
Please mind the door. Doors closing.
What the bloody hell was the point in modernising an Otis 2000?
Going up.
Modernised by Jackson. Capacity 1250 kg, 16 persons. Mezzanine.
Upper mezzanine floor. Doors opening.
Going up?
Going up.
Where are you going?
You do lower one for us, mate.
Oh, well, we're going up first.
That's all right, doesn't matter, yeah.
Please mind the door.
Right, you want one?
Doors closing.
Oh, that makes sense, doesn't it? Upper mall and upper mezzanine. So you've got 2 floor UMs.
Going up.
Because that totally oh, mind you, isn't it the same floor both sides?
I think it is, mate. Yeah, because we just press UM and it got us to there. So
Floor 1. Doors opening. Going
This
up.
is going up.
Please mind the door. Doors closing. Going up. Floor 2. Doors opening.
Here we are at 2.
Going up. Please mind the door. Doors closing.
There it goes. And that's it. I think we'll just do the one ride with this lift because it's such a busy lift because it's only one lift. It's very, very busy. And next we move on to Debenhams. Now Debenhams, despite being one of the largest stores in the shopping centre, it's got 3 floors, it only has just one single lift. This is one of the original 1990s Schindler M-Series lifts, and it was also, I believe, the first one of the first Schindler lifts at the shopping centre to be modernised. It's had a slight modernisation done by Kone. This lift goes between the 3 shopping levels of Debenhams and up to the 2 car park levels. This is the lift at the Glades Debenhams shop in Bromley. It's a 1990s Schindler M-Series lift, but it's been modernised by Kone, and it is a glass lift. Whether or not we can see it from here, I don't know. Massive atrium, but the lift is all the way down at the bottom. This is this massive shop and the car park, and they only thought to install one lift. Who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. It's making its way up. It's probably going to stop. Well, it's making its way up. Oh, it's going straight up.
Going down. Doors closed. Doors open. Going down.
Oh, come on.
Doors closed.
Someone's pressed the button and not got in.
Doors open.
Going up? Where are you going? To where?
Anywhere up is fine.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine. There's quite a few options for up,
I know,
so.
I'm never sure what that is all about.
Doors open.
There you go.
Going up. Doors closed.
Very jolly sounding kids' toy. So modernised with Kone KSS. Modernised 2015. Here we are at P2. Made by Schindler, modded by Kone. That's actually not too bad. It's probably one of the only lifts in this shopping centre that has been modernised by a good company. There it goes. And that's it. And now we go to the main lifts at the shopping centre's main atrium. These are some nice 1990s Schindler glass lifts which just go between the 2 shopping levels and up to car parks 1 and 2. Unfortunately, in 2018, some idiot let Jackson Lift Group get their hands on it. They've had the logic replaced, the buttons have been replaced, they've been ruined. These lifts used to have really nice, proper, fully intelligent Schindler M-Series logic. Instant door closing, proper efficient levelling and pre-doors. All of those nice features have gone. These lifts are now more inefficient than they used to be. Just completely ruined. These are the main glass lifts at the Glades shopping centre in Bromley. Originally made in the 90s by Schindler, modernised by Jackson, I think 2018. Oh, this is disappointing. Look at this. Just like the one at Waterstones.
Going down.
Okay, let's look out the window. Jeez, these are slow to accelerate now. took out the really nice intelligent Schindler logic and replaced it with, well, put it this way, crap logic. Here we are at Lower Mall.
Doors opening.
Where are you going?
Just to the one, L1.
L1?
Not L1, sorry, Upper Mall.
Upper Mall.
Okay, thank you.
Here we go.
Please mind the doors. Going up.
Here we go.
We're going up. Yeah.
Upper Mall. Doors opening.
Thanks.
Going up.
Right, jump off because it's heavy now. Off your bottom.
Doors open. Please mind the doors. Going up. Doors closing.
That messed around with the voice, didn't it?
Going up.
I remember these lifts from when I was like a really little kid. Used to go in these lifts all the time. They were some childhood favourites of mine, and it's such a shame to see them modernised now.
Level 2.
Here we are at 2.
Doors opening.
Now, before we continue looking around the shopping centre, we're going to head over to the footbridge to the Pavilion Leisure Centre, which isn't really part of the shopping centre, but it's connected to it kind of as part of the same building. Now, when the leisure centre was built, the original lifts were some nice old Keithley lifts, but sadly they've since been completely ripped out and replaced with some boring MRL generic lifts. Lifts for Bromley Leisure Centre, just outside the Glades. Generic. Filmed this lift before. There's actually 2 lifts, but that one isn't working. They're on separate controllers anyway. These were originally built when they were Keithley lifts when they were built, but they weren't just modernised, they were completely ripped out and replaced. I think this indicator is talking complete crap, so I don't think this isn't the 2nd floor. I think this is the 4th floor.
Going down.
Yeah.
Please
Go to 1.
Doors closing.
Yeah, so the outside indicator is
Going
talking.
down.
Okay, I think these were installed by, what was it, Lift Tech or something? Techno Lift, was it? But UK Lift and Escalator Company Limited doing the maintenance now. Capacity 13 persons,
Level 1.
1,000 kgs.
Doors open. Please mind the doors. Doors closing.
And up we go. There's a traction, which is nice. So at least they're fairly quick.
Level 4.
Nice. Oh, shaft lights on. Which is interesting. Yeah, I think these are MRL actually. Not sure. I think they're MRL. There it goes. And that's it. Yeah, it says it's on 2. This is level 4. That indicator's full of crap. And now to the lifts in the alternative car park, which is just across the footbridge from the Pavilion Leisure Centre. Now, I don't think this car park is actually a part of the shopping centre. I think it's owned separately. Now, amazingly, this car park still has its original lifts. They haven't been modernised. These are some 1980s or 1990s generic lifts made by a company called Paul and Dunn Woody. I know that's a really weird name for a lift company, but that's what they're called. So the lifts for the other car park in the Glades, I think this one's owned by the council. 3, Dewhurst Barrel. ERS lifts, maintained by Guideline. Look, there's another set of buttons down here. There's a traction. There is a floor indicator. Seems to go blank at level 2 and then display 2 on level 3 for whatever stupid reason. to ground again. See if I can see anything out this little window here in the doors. Not much. You can see the other floors going past. Oh, we're stopping on one. I'll get out here. Okay, so now let's head back into the shopping centre and into Marks and Spencer's. Now, the lifts in Marks and Spencer's, I believe, were installed sometime in the 90s like the rest of the lifts here, but I'm not actually entirely sure who made these lifts. The lifts are currently branded as Jackson, and they have been branded as Jackson for over a decade. But I highly doubt that these lifts were actually made by Jackson. Whether they were made by Schindler or whether they were made by some other generic company in the 90s, I have no idea. But as it so happens, on the day I went, one of these lifts wasn't working, and on the lift that was working, the voice wasn't working, and nor were the floor indicators. So this, combined with one lift not working in the leisure centre, there are so many broken lifts at the Glades on the day I went. It's just crazy. I've got a broken one. This could take a while. Go up to car park level 2. These are the lifts at Marks and Spencer's, the Glades in Bromley. Jackson generic lifts. So we've got one lift that doesn't work, and the one lift that is working, the indicators are broken. Floor are we on? Where are we? I have no idea. Where are you going?
This is first floor sales. I'm going up to car park 1.
Yeah, the old displays aren't working, so...
Oh yeah, outside they're not as well.
No,
Right.
well the other lift isn't working at all.
No, that's right. And nor was this one the other week, you know, they've taken it in turns.
Well, that's what happens when you buy cheap lifts.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh, that side, is it? This is going up.
Oh, this is going.
Yeah.
Am I on level 1?
Think so.
Okay.
I don't actually know, the indicators don't work.
Okay. What car park am I in?
Marks and Spencer's.
Okay, Marks and Spencer's. I've never been here before.
I haven't been here for 5 years, so...
Oh really? Well, I've never been here. I'm at Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah.
Is this where I get out?
No, this is the top floor of the car park, so just go down to the ground floor and the first floor sales are there.
So I was on level 1, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were here, so you want to go to the shop, go down to ground.
Okay, brilliant.
There you go.
Thank you.
Okay. I think we'll end the take for Marks and Spencer's here, because with the left lift being out of action, it's going to be a pain in the arse to try and film the one on the right, so I think we'll end it here. And now, at this point in the lift tour is where things went a little bit wrong. So in the middle of the shopping centre, where there's another little atrium, is a set of 2 generic lifts. Now, these lifts were not originally built with the shopping centre. They were a later addition because they obviously decided that there wasn't enough lifts, so they'd install 2 more. And these were installed by a generic company in the mid-2000s. Unfortunately, the footage that's currently playing on screen is the only footage that I managed to get of these lifts, because these lifts were incredibly busy. And things don't really get much better from here. At the other end of the shopping centre is the other set of glass Schindler lifts. Now these lifts go all the way from the lower mall, upper mall, all the way up to car park level 4, because this end of the shopping centre has 2 extra floors of parking. Unfortunately, we have yet a third example of a lift not working at the Glades. The left lift wasn't working, and the result of that was that the right-hand lift was so ridiculously busy that it was just impossible to film this lift. I just couldn't do it. Not that it really would have made that much difference. First of all, the glass on the inside of these lifts has actually been covered up, so you can't see out of them anyway. And these lifts have been modernised by Jackson, just like the main lift, so they're not actually all that interesting. And finally, we have Boots. Now, Boots also has a 1990s Schindler lift, and this lift also goes all the way up to car park level 4. Now, this lift has been modernised, I think, 1 or 2 times now by various generic companies. And guess what? It wasn't working a fourth lift at the Glades that wasn't working on the day I went, so I just was not able to ride this lift. The footage that's playing on screen now is a little bit of footage that I filmed back in 2014 when I was last in London, and I believe the inside buttons have actually been replaced with regular Dewhurst since then. But yeah, so this lift tour didn't quite work out the way I planned it, but hey, we tried. Right. Or I tried, rather. I mean, you guys weren't there.